podcast here on YouTube through the Geeks & Co. channel. We are in the club cosplay, which I've been screwing up all weekend long. It's Saturday. I'm still messing it up.
Day 3.
We're in the North Building. We're in the basement. We're down the hall. We're in a room. And you know what? We're still having an absolute blast. Today, we're celebrating the bad guys, all of your favorite villains. That's what we've been doing all day long here on the Geek Boutique. We are now live, and we've got a couple of bad guys with us. This is a bad guy, and this is a bad guy. We're going to be talking to as many people as we can here as far as being a bad
jokes
guy.
already started.
I mean,
what's going on?
it's never not a bad time. Is it a bad time for a dad joke? Please let us know, faithful. Is there ever a bad time for a dad joke? JS, give us your impression so far. We are a Saturday. We're getting towards the end of the day. What is your impression of Fan Expo so far here in room 203 in the North Building? What's happening?
Listen, today was crazy. I'm pleasantly surprised with the amount of people that we had come through here today. It's getting a little bit more quiet now, but it's been like non-stop all friggin' day. The meetup, the villains meetup, huge. I mean, listen, I was very impressed. We were a little bit worried after day 1 and day 2.
Day 1 and day 2 is pretty quiet.
It was.
Yes.
But today I think really made it up for it. We had a lot of people come through. We still have a lot of people coming through now. And we had a bunch of cosplayers with us.
Including this guy. No, that'd be you. Grab the microphone, sir. You're on.
I have the microphone. Okay. Hello, everyone. You can't recognize me right now, but I am Freakish Workshop. The beard is gone, replaced by fangs. We are here. I'm here at Geeks & Co. I'm here with Geeks & Co. in person.
Listen, you're here in person. Now, you were here yesterday.
I was.
So you had a 2-day Fan Expo experience.
I did.
Yesterday, you got to do a little bit more because you were out of costume.
Yes.
So you got to go around and check out the show. What are your impressions of your first time at Fan Expo?
Bigger than I was expecting, which is kind of funny to say, I think. But really, really cool. It was good to be back at a big con. I did a small con about a year ago. Ever since then, since COVID and everything, I did Calgary, I don't know how many years ago. So it was good to be back in a big con setting again. And it was good to see this many cosplayers. So I was, my creative battery is peaking. It's overflowing. I'm so stoked.
It's funny. I've got family that came up from Quebec that are like, oh my God, the cosplay here is just off the rockers. Everybody loves it. And it's true. The cosplay here this year has been crazy. This guy, I almost feel like this should be his regular getup and not a cosplay.
What? These guys are not fun. The cosplay that we've seen here, just even down here in the basement, we're going to pull some people in and we're going to talk to them today because the cosplays that we've seen today have been extraordinary. Not just the villains, but just everybody that's managed to suit up today and bring their A game as far as that goes has been extraordinary. I'm going to get this wonderful Harley Quinn cosplayer coming in today. I don't even have words for how epic this looks. So we had our villain meetup today at noon, and we were fortunate enough to have this Harley cosplayer come out. Give us a little bit of details as to what you're cosplaying today. I've already kind of given it away, and how you put the cosplay together, if you don't mind.
Yeah, sure. Should I take this?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's my show now. Just kidding. This was a closet cosplay. I had a random little tutu and lots of pairs of tights. And I found these really fun socks at Imagine the Fun. Sorry, I'm Mount Royal.
Nope, that's my bad.
And it was their last pair, so they gave me a discount, which is always a bonus.
Perfect.
And last year, I just basically had a bodysuit and a red sash. And then I have a friend who cosplays and does costumes. And then I asked her shyly if I could get her to make me a corset and a top. And it's kind of inspired by one of the video games, but then we changed the colors at my request. And then it's been a lot of mix and match. As I see things, I'm like, oh, that would be good. I work better that way versus sitting at home and deciding or researching too long, because then I'll get I got to disconnect it. So, yeah, you all know how it is.
No, we do know how it is.
Yeah.
Why Harley? What is it about this character that talks to you, that speaks to you, that wants to make you cosplay it at an event such as this?
I think she has a really good energy. You put on the costume and you just have a little walk and, very recognizable, easy to embody. I do remember the first time I saw her as a kid on the Batman show, the cartoon, and it was the episode where she's trying to be good. then everyone just sees her and they're like, oh, Harley, and she's like, I didn't even get to keep my own dress, which I actually paid for with my own money. And I don't know, there's just been something endearing about her, and it's nice to see that there's more Harley content, and she's being used differently versus too stereotypically, and she also is a bit of an anti-hero, a little bit of on the hero side. Even though she's been on the evil side, she still kind of has a pureness to her heart, I find. And I think that that's really sweet because we all struggle with.
It feels like everything's coming from a good place, especially if you watch the animated series.
Oh my God,
that's
I am
on
right
HBO
now.
Max. It's fantastic. I slept late on it, but when I finally got in, I'm like, why did I wait so long to check this out?
I just started season 2.
Oh my goodness, you're in for a heck of a ride. It's so
and
fantastic.
I love Poison Ivy. This version
oh
of her.
man,
She's been a hit and miss with me depending on who writes her, but I love this version of her.
they are killing it on that show. Any other cosplays that you do overall? If you want to give us some details on some of your personal favorites that you do cosplay-wise.
Sure. Well, I'm still pretty new. So the first cosplay I did is a character named Blake Belladonna from the Ruby series.
Yep.
There's actually a crow and another Ruby there.
Nice,
gender
yes,
swapped.
yes.
Crow's the uncle. Anyway, so I did that because that's a really easy one to find pieces for because it's like black and white. And then I did a bit of a closet cosplay of a Dark Sailor Scout. And I have a handmade Sailor Moon costume for my puppet.
Yeah.
So I brought that to Otakuthon last year, but it's a lot of work carrying a puppet around.
Nice.
And so then I kind of just filtered into this, and I did Tifa from Final Fantasy VII Advent Children for the first time yesterday.
Awesome.
Really had a nice time.
Yep.
Wonderful reception. She's such a lovely character. I'll definitely do her again in the future. And tomorrow I'll be doing Punchline for the second time.
Yes.
His new girlfriend.
We're DC tomorrow too, so that's going to work out.
That's it. So I
yes.
strategically picked her because I think she's a bit rarer.
Now, if
But,
you don't mind spilling some beans, and you don't have to, we don't like putting people on the spot.
like
but
literal beans.
do you have anything in the works or future cosplay plans that you may want to share with us here on the podcast?
Yeah, so I'm feeling I commissioned a friend to help me with this and the Punchline costume, and it's kind of helped me with anxiety to get started. But I'm feeling a little more crafty. But I do also have a Power Ranger costume on the way, the Pink Ranger.
Yes.
I got the helmet before before I left. I'm from Montreal.
Yep.
And before I took the train, I got the helmet, but I haven't gotten the suit yet.
I gotcha.
That one I'm also getting custom made. And,
That is coming, though. That is on the way.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Perfect.
So very excited about that.
If people want to check out your work moving forward,
please.
how can they do that? Give us your socials if you don't mind.
So I'm on the Instagram. So it's a long name. It's
That's okay.
Abby Long and so do you. So ABBYLONG. And if it helps you remember, I picked it because it sounds like I belong and so do you. So just Abby Long and so do you. And I do shows every now and then. I'll just send some updates. But lately it's been cosplay.
Guys, check her on the gram. This is amazing. It's been amazing I'll play, and she's going to be back with us tomorrow, I'm hoping.
Yeah, as long as I get the makeup done in time.
First of DZ Cosplay, thank you
slow process.
so much for
Thank
joining
you.
us today.
This
We
has been great.
really, really appreciate it. Thank you. Guy, honestly, this Harley is so epic. Are you kidding me?
Guys, there's a lot of people in the comments that are saying we need to go to Montreal. We need to check out the cons in Montreal.
Yeah.
Technicon,
Yeah.
Montreal Comic Con. Guys, if you want to see us at more cons, make sure you ask your cons. You tell them we want to see the Geeks & Co. there, right? Reach out to them. Let them know you want to see us. Noah, this has kind of become what people know you for.
Yeah.
I know some small beans already as far as what you're working on next.
Small beans. Small beans, guys.
Are you okay with spilling some beans to the people that are watching?
Yeah. So I'm going to stay. I've got a few cosplays in between this one and the one we're talking about right now. The next one is going to be much bigger, taller. He's going to come from Eastern Europe, and he has an affinity for African animals.
African horned animal?
Yeah, that's a good way of describing it. Yeah.
Yes.
Spider-Verse, which is cool. I don't know how I got here, but I got here.
Yeah.
So I think I'm gonna stick around for a while. So that's hopefully next Comic-Con or Fan Expo one. So 1 year from now.
So that would be Fan Expo.
That'll be Fan Expo.
Yeah, Comic Con's in March. So
That's what I'm saying.
yeah.
I'm gonna try and get it done for March. But if all else fails, I've got August. I've got Fan Expo. So keep your eye on my Instagram and stuff. I don't know if I'm gonna talk about. I actually didn't talk much about this one when I was making it. It was more of a secret. I don't usually do that. I don't know if I should do the same thing with this next one, because it's a big one. It's a big one.
It's only up to you.
I know.
Now that you're local,
Yeah.
we're going to see you at more of these cons, obviously.
Of course. Yeah. I think I'm seeing you guys in London next.
Are you going to be in London in 2 weeks or 3 weeks? What
3
is
weeks.
it? 3 weeks?
3 weeks. Yeah. September 16th and 17th, London Comic Con, guys.
Wicked. All right, guys. So if you're going to be in London, you're going to see Freakish there. Now, if you follow him online, you want to meet him, go check out London Comic Con. If you don't follow him online,
What are you doing?
what's wrong with you guys? Go follow him online.
Yeah.
Dude, I know you guys wanted to get out to the South Building.
We do, yeah.
Thanks for coming by today.
Yeah,
I
thanks for
really,
having
really
me.
appreciate
Yeah.
it. But yeah, for sure, message us and we'll hook up in London as well.
Absolutely, yeah.
All right, bud.
Later.
Have a good one.
Guys, we're going to ask, no, I love you. We're going to ask our friend and producer Jen to maybe back up a little bit because we're
We're
going
going
to
to be
need
a group here.
We're going to need some room. If you're old like we are, you're going to be familiar with this TV series. If not, we'll be sure to educate you. I'm going to get the folks from V, the TV series, to come over here.
Guys, we've got a V group coming here. Or as Michael likes to call them, Veeples.
The Veeple. Come on in.
like,
If you're okay, if you're
here.
comfortable, come on in, guys.
come-
If you're
come on.
comfortable. Yeah.
Come. Where's the rest of the gang? There was a bunch of you earlier.
Grabbing a couple more.
Oh, they're grabbing a couple more.
Yeah, there's more. We're multiplying.
Well, excellent. Well, hey, get in here.
Yeah,
So as far as if you're in our age group and we're in our late 40s, early 50s,
We are.
The miniseries V on TV was like event television at the time. It was everywhere. We're talking pre-internet. Every commercial, everybody was watching and talking about this show, and we're fortunate enough to have some people here today that have come in from out of town to join us. This is our friend Michael. Michael's been on. He's always in the podcast. We never
Michael's
actually.
not from out of town.
We never get him on the podcast, but he's been in the podcast before, and he's joined us on some of these live shows. Michael, please give us an indication. Who have you got with you today as far as your people go?
All right. Well, we've got a couple more coming, so this might be a little.
We'll stagger it.
disorganized
We'll
here.
stagger it. We're good.
Yeah. So we're good. All right. So first of all, here we've got. Oh, Carl. Jolene.
Kristen.
Okay, and I'm obviously Michael, and yes, I am in the podcast. I'm usually making inappropriate comments, making fun of people, talking about melons, you name it, all of the silly things.
So is everybody local here right now?
We're all local. We've got Barrie, Hamilton, Toronto, and we've got a few more coming, hopefully very soon. Actually, the two individuals that created this costuming group drove all the way from Connecticut to be here to do this podcast. And there's some timing issues with some photo shoots and stuff, so they should be here in like a minute or two.
Are you guys okay talking on camera with us right now as far as the podcast goes?
I can keep going.
That's okay. I want to get. I know why he's so into it, but what drew you to this series and to go through this investment to embody these characters from this television series? What was it about this that you wanted to emulate so badly here out with us today?
There is some nostalgia, but it was also I really got into that series when I was young, like I was maybe 10, 11 at the time. But it has stuck with me, and it's identifiable even to this day and age. It's not an episode that I forgot, So when Michael was saying that he was getting into it, I jumped right on the chance to do it. Definitely nostalgia, and I just love like the idea and the story around it, the costumes, the people. It was amazing.
So this is our friend Jolene, and we've never been able to get her on camera before because she's always been shy, but we actually managed to drag her in here. Jolene, you are a cosplayer. You do a bunch of different cosplays. So I'm going to ask you the same question. Why V? What was it that drove you to this, that inspired you to get involved with this group in the first place?
Well, I loved it as a kid. It was like one of my favorite shows. I loved watching it, and I remember I saw Michael at a con a few years ago, and I said, oh my God, V, I've been always wanting to do it. Because I'd looked online, there was nothing good. Michael connected me with the Connecticut group, and then there was 2, there was 3, and next to me had a good group. So I always loved it. The story is so great, and it really, it's timely even for now. Like, it's an amazing story, and it's been a real great experience meeting all these people.
No question. You can see the camaraderie. Is it Carl? Carl, I'm going to sneak over here to talk to you really quickly, Carl. So, Carl, same kind of question, but maybe, I don't know, like, give me your own personal, like, how old were you when the show came out? Did the show grab you at the time? Did you come to it later on? What's got you into this suit today and being with the Veeple, if you will?
Oh, well, I was like 12 or 13 when it came out, and I was just drawn to it automatically. I don't know. I just really loved it. So and I met some people online, got in touch with the people in Connecticut, and just got an outfit.
Are you like?
I normally cosplay, so I
So is this your only cosplay as far as what you do?
yeah.
And are you like a sci-fi person? Is this something like it's a genre that you're already interested in, and that's helped you kind of bridge this gap?
Originally, it was sci-fi and horror, and I do it for a living too. I work in film, so.
Oh, you do? Okay, so where about like as far as film go? Like, what can you talk to? I know there's all the strike action going on right now. I don't know if you're a writer or an actor, but can you talk a little bit about projects that you work on?
Just recently, Strange New Worlds, The Boys.
A couple of little shows that you probably never heard of: The Boys on Amazon Prime and Strange New Worlds on Paramount Plus.
The Expanse I worked on.
Oh my god, I love The Expanse so much.
Cool.
Oh my god, I'm such a huge Expanse fan. Clearly, you have a connection as far as the sci-fi genre goes.
Yeah, that's all.
And that's helped to kind of bridge the gap and got you into the suit.
It's fun,
Do you
look around and.
Do you think it'll inspire any other, especially since you're involved in all these other IPs? Will it inspire you to do other cosplays, or is this like, you know what, dude, I'm doing one and done?
I don't know. Probably just one and done. Yeah. It's yeah.
Don't do what we do.
Not out of you.
It sure does. Not just money, but time and effort and blood and sweat and tears.
Sure. Yeah.
Thanks, Carl. We got some new folks joining us here too, guys. We're gonna jump around here. I wasn't joking, man. We have a lot of people joining us from the Veeple. Do we have the other microphone? Let me grab that other microphone here from you, JS. Michael, do you want to do me a favor and you want to give us some introductions here as to who we're talking to today?
All right. It is with my extreme pleasure and honor to introduce Charles and Adina. They're from Connecticut. They run the Connecticut Mothership, and they are the two that started the entire Visitor Fleet costuming group. And we're honored to have you here. We're honored to have you on the podcast. I'm always talking about you two and how amazing this group is, how inclusive it is. No, there's no bullshit. I'm allowed to swear, right?
You are allowed to swear, yes.
Okay. Yeah, exactly. And just how wonderful people you are. And I'm so happy you're finally here. We had a couple of years with the pandemic where we were separated, and now it's great to be back. So I'm going to hand it over to...
Yes, if you don't mind handing the microphone over, whoever wants to be the voice box. Absolutely. All right. Adina, let me talk to both of you guys anyway. So clearly, the same kind of question I've been asking everybody else. Clearly, you guys have a deep connection to this series. To be able to start this adventure, to go through the costuming, everything, the accuracy of the costumes, by the way, it's just absolutely outstanding. You guys look like you walked right off the movie set. What was it about this show? Like I said at the top of the podcast, this was an event for us. This is pre-internet. Like when this show came out, everybody was talking about this. How did we get from that cool show in the 80s to you guys showing up here in 2023 in these suits looking amazing? Give us a little bit of your perspective on this.
Well, when Charles and I met, we both found that we both loved sci-fi, and as we talked more and more, we realized that we both knew V, not expecting anyone else to have known even what V was. And we had come from costuming backgrounds of our own, and we said, well, no one does V. Why don't we see if we can do it?
And it's always something we wanted to do separately, and then together. I was in the 501st, so I led the local group in Connecticut there. She was doing Ren Fair stuff.
I did a lot of Renaissance Fair
when we got
costuming.
together, we just kind of like, what about V? And then, the reason why in the show, and that's our main... the impetus of the show is promoting the art that we get behind. It's not, we're not here to sell action figures or, kiddie stuff. It's about Kenny Johnson's art in the show and what that meant to us.
Yeah.
And you could talk more about that and the Holocaust and the allegory of V,
right,
which
the
is
allegory
important.
of V, which for me growing up with sci-fi in my house, my dad is a huge sci-fi guy. So I was fortunate enough to grow up with a lot of sci-fi, and a lot of sci-fi is about allegory and talking about society and stuff like that. It's much
using a different story, different settings to tell difficult stories for people.
right,
Absolutely.
difficult topics, but taking them somewhere that is not quite so personal, but still making the point. And that's what V was really all about. Was for those that might not be aware, V was based on the Sinclair Lewis book. What?
No,
oh.
She's like, nah.
Yeah, she's like, It was based on the book by Sinclair Lewis called "It Can't Happen Here." He wanted to do Kenny Johnson wanted to do a miniseries of that, but the networks felt like it was too touchy of a subject to be talking about fascism and
Sure.
all kinds of stuff.
Fascism coming
Coming to America.
Right.
The
Of
whole
course.
book is about that. And what would you do? And people saying, "Oh, it can't happen here," but it could. And so someone came up with, "What if they were aliens?" And that's how the whole concept of V became what it is. And seeing it through that perspective of, oh no, it's aliens coming here and they're taking over slowly by, oh no, we're your friends, we're here for you, but suddenly the scientists start disappearing and people are being quieted that are looking into it too much.
Neighbors
And
are turning against each
neighbors
other.
are-
What would you do? Turn in your relatives, or would you say no? I want power.
Right, or would you join the
Or would you fight?
resistance
Or-
for the greater good? And it had such a hugely diverse amount of characters from different backgrounds and ethnicities and cultures that all came together for humanity's sake rather than any personal stake. And it just really said a lot, and it's relevant today too.
No, 100% is
So-
relevant today too. Now,
Yeah.
yes, yeah. So you're already cosplayers. You mentioned the 501st. You guys already been in the cosplay community, and you're coming up from the States. Is this your first time to a Canadian con?
Yes, actually.
And so this is the biggest con in our country. This is yes, so I'm curious as to what is your reaction to Fan Expo? How has your experience been so far? How does it differ from what you've been doing in the States when it comes to doing cosplay and conventions in general?
I mean, it's wonderful.
It's overwhelming.
It's overwhelming. It's a lot like the bigger cons that we've been to.
We do a lot of smaller shows now. So we do little horror shows.
We
used to do
larger
bigger
ones.
shows.
We've
But
been to New York Comic Con in Rhode Island, and we've been to a bunch of different cons. But it's we haven't been to a real Dragon Con.
Dragon Con, of course, yeah.
And
But nothing like this. We haven't done anything like this in many, many years,
Yeah.
if not ever, because this is huge.
This is huge.
When we first
yeah.
walked in, one of our guys was like, "Oh, New York is twice the size of this," and I said,
like,
"There's 5
no,
more
no,
floors."
it's not. Yeah.
He's like,
Whole other building.
know, yeah,
I mean,
so it's like,
I mean, even
wow.
Dragon Con's in a whole bunch of different buildings also. So that's probably the most comparable size one that we've been to. And just seeing the variety of costumes that people put together and the variance of genres, it's just cool. Seeing people's craft and things that people have made and put together is wonderful.
But also, we're trying to play to our audience too. And a lot of these big shows, there's a lot of kids who just don't know who we are. So by doing little horror shows, it's a slightly older crowd.
yeah.
It's not as high, high energy. So we try to go to where we're comfortable and where we can make the most impact.
Right.
Although shows like this, we get a lot of young people coming up to us and go, "What are you guys? You look, the uniforms are awesome." And then we get to tell them, "Go home and watch this show." So that's
Yeah,
fun. That's
yeah.
fun.
Well, that was going to be my next question because you guys are like sort of the progenitors of this group. You guys came up with this concept, you started the group, and you're clearly leading the group. So if I'm, well, that was my next question. So I'm 50. I love the show. I want to be part of the Veeple. How do I go about doing that?
Message us on Facebook. We have a Facebook page. It's facebook.com/CT visitors. That's also
And just tell us Delaney sent you, and you get the fast track right in. Because we love him. Delaney is awesome. Yeah.
Honestly, when we started this, we knew there were other V fans out there, but we really didn't think that this was going to become what it became. We just started doing it locally. We're like, yeah, we're the Connecticut mothership.
Yeah.
And suddenly we're getting emails from people like, can I start a mothership? Can I have a
Where can I get the
uniform?"
costumes? Oh my
And
God, you guys look great.
It spread to California and Florida, and then Canada, and then the UK, Australia, Peru,
New
Ecuador,
Zealand,
New Zealand,
Yeah,
Germany,
it's crazy.
Spain, Argentina, and we're just like
Norway,
Norway. And suddenly we have these people that we become friends with. All like it's literally friendship universal, and it was not what we expected to happen at all.
Yeah.
And now it's just kind of this incredible.
It's been the best experience of my
Yeah.
costuming life for sure.
Yeah.
And
And that's coming from an active member of the 501st. Like that's previous active member of 501st. That's
the time of what I did. Now, this is my passion, and it's just
Yeah.
it's about the art.
That's, at the end of the day, that's what cosplay is all about. If you don't have a passion for it, and it is a performance art at the end of the day, that's why we wear goofy stuff and go out in crowds and suffer the lines and do everything that we do, right? Because we have a love and a passion for it. Guys, I can't thank you enough for being on the program. Thank you so much for coming out. And thank you for coming to Canada with us and sharing your experience with us. This has been wonderful. Guys, go check out their Facebook group. You can get through them, by the way, through my kill icon over there. He is the Canadian, sounds like the liaison over there.
He is the commander of the Ontario.
Trust me, a week doesn't go by that he's not trying to heavily recruit me to join the group. So I get it. Guys, definitely check out their stuff. And if you're interested, please reach out to the mothership and investigate, and they'll put you on the right path on getting an opportunity to join the membership. Guys, thank you so much for joining us today. We really appreciate it. Guys, give it up for V. That's amazing. We're here at Fan Expo. We're going to keep wandering around and talk to some wonderful people. Thank you so much, guys. We appreciate it. There's so many people here that we love to talk to. In fact, Teresa is one of them, and we're going to take the opportunity to talk to her really, really quickly. This lovely young lady is someone that I have been working with and known for, 8 years, 9 years, going on 10 years now. Teresa and I have had opportunity to work at huge cons like Toronto Comic Con, Fan Expo, and teeny tiny little cons that had like 14 or 15 people show up. Why do we do this? Why do we come out year after year and put ourselves through this? What are we doing? Because of what? Tell me what this means to you.
Because of the cosplayers, because of the fandom, because of the joy that everybody brings each other. It's the perfect family that you choose.
And so what inspired you to want to not only join in on the costuming fun, but then to capture the costuming fun on camera and share that with the world through social media? Why was that important to you to do that?
Because everybody needs to see it, and I don't like to be in front of a camera. I like to be behind it.
As far as the inspiration for shooting cosplayers go, there's got to be pros and cons, obviously, when it comes to shooting cosplayers. Talk to JS over here, because I feel like I'm hogging all the airtime. When it comes to shooting cosplay, what's your favorite part of shooting cosplayers, whether it be individual shot photo shoots or in a group setting? What tickles your fancy? What gets your juices flowing when it comes to shooting cosplay?
I like when they know what they're doing, when they know their fandom, they know what they're cosplaying. I don't have to give them direction. They can just be like, yes, this is my character, this is what I'm doing, this is perfect, and it's boom, 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 done. And then they explain to me, and I get to see that fandom through them and through those photos. So even if it's not something that I am particularly fond of or know anything about, once I'm done doing a photo shoot with them, I feel like I've experienced that fandom and I get to enjoy a piece of it.
JS, you got a question for Teresa today?
No, I'm just glad she's here. We have these crazy weekends where, we come to town and we spend the whole weekend here, and we're up early in the morning and we're up late at night partaking in
various
adult stuff.
Well, we were we were in a bit of a bind. We needed a photographer.
Exactly.
You and I had reached out. You and I had worked together. I reached out. So why the Geeks and Company? What's been your experience with us doing these cons so far? Give the folks at home a little bit of a sneak peek what it's like to work with the Geeks and Company.
They're crazy. They're
Hi.
crazy, right? Like, I absolutely adore every one of them, and I feel part of the family getting it.
Because you are.
But it's been great, like every second. And you inspire me to reach out and do more myself, like get better at my photos, get better at my editing. But then on top of it, I see that it can be done. So I start building cosplays. I start actually looking at what I want to do. And because of them and seeing what they can do, it inspires me. So
Speaking of, what did it inspire you to do this weekend?
I made my own Brienne of Tarth.
For those unfamiliar, Gwendolyn Christie, the star of Game of Thrones that played Brienne of Tarth, was supposed to appear, and in so doing, you decided to make your own 2 months. Tell us a little bit about that cosplay.
First time I've ever sewn anything. First time I've worked with Warbler foam, everything, and I was able to.
Wait, hang on. This is your first ever cosplay, period?
Yeah. Well, no. First ever homemade cosplay from scratch.
Really?
Right? All my cosplays are basics, right? So I've done Alpha, right?
Alpha was the one that we connected on for sure.
Yeah. But
Like, what the frick? Like, come on, guys.
Qu'est-ce que fuck, mon ami?
Qu'est-ce que fuck what I mean? Like,
everything's been just store bought that I've ever cosplayed. This is my first ever
wow.
made.
Well, I'm glad that we inspired you to do this type of
Yeah,
stuff because
you showed me it's
we
possible.
love doing this type of stuff, and frankly, like you say, it's totally possible. I mean, all it takes is to get your hands a little dirty and roll up your
Ask
sleeves and
questions,
ask
watch
questions.
videos.
You know,
Like, what you guys do, it's
yeah, YouTube is your friend when you want to do this type of stuff.
Yeah.
But that's amazing. No, that's awesome. I didn't realize that was your first ever build.
No.
Great job.
Having said that, has the bug bit you now? Do you have some inspiration or some plans for some future build? Okay, do you want to spill a little bit of beans here on the podcast?
Well, seeing as they're predators, I would like to eventually kind of try my hand at making me into a predator or a xenomorph.
Yeah.
I feel like we'd be good with either one of those. So,
But yeah, that's gonna be something I'm gonna try.
and if people want to keep up with not only the photography but the cosplay, how do they go about seeing your stuff specifically? Give us the socials, please.
Well, you go on Geeks & Co. and you will find my information on their Instagram and on their Facebook. But in case you don't, but you should, it's Top Cosplay. TOP Cosplay.
And it's T.O.P.
/cosplay.
hyphen
Yeah,
space underscore.
I feel like we're swearing in Morse code.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, I know we say it every time, but thank you so much for helping us out. I mean, it's tough enough to do these long weekends. Being able to have somebody that we can rely on that we know is going to, yeah, if you guys haven't seen any of our meetup pictures, I mean, again, this is all her. She organizes it all. She sets it all up. She directs it. She's go, 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 go. I mean, it would just be a mess if you weren't there to help out with that. So thank you so, so much.
And apparently, not only such a mess, you're required.
Oh, yes.
The Veeple need you
Oh, the
guys.
Veeple.
Teresa is going to leave
Alrighty.
you. What I would like to do is grab Megan
yeah.
Avery over there.
So, we've got
Actually, you know
somebody
what?
that is
You know what?
A fan of the show. She's been watching our podcast and commenting, and she's been on for a long, long time.
Hi.
Are we able to steal her for a minute?
We're live on the podcast.
This is
So-
your first time on the podcast. Well, I mean, it's not your first.
Before, but
Yes.
I've never gotten the chance.
Here, why don't you hold on to this?
Oh, cool. Thanks. Thanks.
Guys, if you are familiar with the podcast and you tune in every week, we always refer to the faithful. So these are the people that tune in every single week. They support the podcast just by watching, liking, and commenting. And our good friend Megan is one of those people. Megan, thank you so much for your support throughout everything.
course.
But now we finally get to meet you
In real
person.
life.
I know.
In real life.
So now you were here earlier in the week.
Yes.
Earlier in the show, playing the same character, just a different iteration
Yes,
of that
I
character.
was Lab Doc Ock.
Okay, so
Yeah.
please give us an indication. Who are you cosplaying today, and what is the source? Where is it from?
So I am Olivia Octavius, Doc Ock from the Spider-Verse. Been doing this now for like literally, this is my 1-year anniversary of cosplay.
Ooh, look at us.
Yeah. So, sorry, my wig's falling off.
No, I get it. My wig, I get it.
My wig,
Yep,
my hair.
yep. We all been there.
Yeah, made this bad boy in like 6 weeks, and she held up for today.
Yeah, she
I don't know
did.
how it'll get off, but we're here.
All good. Now, what is it about this particular character and that particular quote-unquote universe? Because it's kind of its own little thing.
It is.
even though it's in the multiverse, it's animated, it's through Sony Studios, so it's kind of doing its own thing. What got you to this level, inspired you to cosplay the same character twice in two completely different iterations
Right.
from the same film?
So, honestly, watching the podcast, and you were like, I have never seen somebody do Octavius in real life. And I was like, ever since I saw that movie, I loved her character, Catherine Hahn, though.
Beautiful.
Like, I friggin'
Brilliant.
love her.
Yep.
I just love the character. I love that. So, fun fact, they actually had him. It was going to be a him. And last minute, Catherine Hahn was like, I want to be part of this project. And they've made it into a female. I know. And I thought that was really cool. And her outfit was just amazing. It was not like this Doc Ock. And so I thought it was really neat. And then you were like, I've never seen one. And I was like, I could do that.
Yeah.
I could build that.
You going to see one now?
Yeah.
You going
We're
to see
gonna
one now?
it. And then last minute, I was like, you know what? I could order like a lab coat, do her on Friday. And here we are.
So give us a little bit of a breakdown, if you don't mind. How did you build this? How did you come up with this? Walk us through it.
Yeah, so actually it was very tedious and tumultuous.
As most cosplay is.
I built a back plate, PVC.
Yep. So what's the base?
So this is a back brace from Amazon.
Okay.
And it has metal wire running through the back of it.
Yep.
So I cut holes on each side of the metal wire, fed I think it's 8-gauge galvanized steel through it.
Okay.
Twisted it by hand.
Oh, yeah, you
It
did.
was very hard.
Yep.
And then kind of glued the PVC pipes to the back plate.
Yep.
Put this over top. The colored wires inside do nothing except for aesthetics.
I gotcha.
Foam claws, and that's it, really.
It looks really, really good. And then you've even got some detailing on the front.
Yeah, so it's all foam.
Yep.
I made the leather belts and then just put the foam on top of it. These are like ping pong balls. Ping pong balls that I cut in half. Yeah.
Oh, you just taped.
I just taped them over and then like painted them with like neon green tape.
That's hilarious.
And then puff paint, Velcroed it to the actual back brace here, and that's it.
This is what I personally love about cosplay is how creative people get with finding stuff and making it work.
Yeah.
Like, this is...
And I made this.
Oh, I love that. Oh,
This
you made the wig.
headpiece. Yeah, I did. So it's actually like a piece of foam, like it's a half circle foam piece. And I got hair extensions and Gorilla Glue sprayed it all together.
You are
Put the
hardcore.
purple streaks in there.
Well done.
Yeah.
Is this your first cosplay? I mean, first combined cosplay, I guess, because you said you were here last year.
Yes.
So it's been a year. Did you
Yes.
cosplay last year as well?
So I did.
What did you do last year?
Last minute, I was sitting at work. I bought a ticket, told my boss that my daughter was sick, ran to Valley Village, and did low-key for president.
Oh, I'm sorry.
in
You
my
did. I'm
TV.
sorry. I'm sorry. Who did you do exactly? I'm sorry. I didn't
Low-key for
catch that.
president.
Yeah, you did.
So I threw that together in like 8 hours.
Yep.
I'm shocked that the horns, I did modeling foam.
Yep.
I'm shocked that they set. Spray painted it like hours before the con.
This is the most cosplay story I've ever heard in my life.
Right? Showed up at like 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I was like, just wanted to like test the waters, right? So
And clearly the waters were good because here we are,
They're warm.
a year later.
They're comfy.
You're doing two different cosplays, same character, but on two different days. So you know what the $1 million question is. Are you willing to spill some beans today? If there are beans to spill, are there plans to do other cosplays moving forward? Or are you just going to kind of rest on your laurels a little bit and soak in the accolades that you're clearly getting for this?
yeah, I don't know. Like I wanted to do Sylvie,
Yep.
but I want to do things that nobody's doing.
That's fair.
You know, like
Yep.
I don't know. I don't know.
Well, guys, if you have some ideas on what you think Megan would just murder, absolutely shoot her a message, shoot us the message, we'll pass it on. Megan's on every week tuning into the Geek Boutique. By the way, at 7 o'clock Eastern Time, Thursdays, live on YouTube and on Facebook. If you got an idea for our dear Megan here on what she can do, I think you should share that with her because, as you can see, she's bringing the real shit. So thank you so much.
you.
Not only for doing
Love
the interview
it.
with us, but all of your support every week.
Every week.
Yes, you are
got a kid.
definitely
I really
one of
got
the
nothing else
faithful.
to do, so-
Well, I appreciate you saying that's the only reason why you're watching because you have nothing better to
Never.
do. But hey,
Never.
we'll take it
You know, I
anyways.
saw you guys last year, but I was too nervous to approach. So this year,
Oh
I
yeah,
was
because
like,
we're so intimidating.
Yes, I mean, I was scared. I was.
Well, I'm glad that you're tuning in, and I'm glad we got a chance to interact this year. So,
Thank you.
and I'm
Thank
sure we'll be here. Yes,
Every week.
yeah. Don't
Every week.
like the
Really
way. Don't
listening.
get all
It's
like
fun.
big headed on us, and now you're like, I don't got time for those losers.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Every week. Every
Thank
week.
you. Thank you, guys. Oh, sorry. Really quick
Thank you
before
so
you go, if people want to see your work, hit us with the socials. Where can they go to check you out?
I am Second Hand Shoes on Instagram. 2ND Hand Shoes on Instagram.
Guys.
I don't do the TikTok thing.
I also do not do that. I think we have a TikTok, but I don't know if we use it a whole lot. So yeah. Anyways,
Yeah.
I'm brutal with it. That's not gonna be me, guys.
Thank
Secondhand Shoes, go check her out.
Thanks,
Thank
Megan.
you so much, Megan. We're gonna keep wandering around. You're the best. And talk to various different people.
I was hoping to get Ben in here. He was here yesterday in his Iron Man, and then he showed up in his Master Chief. Unfortunately, I think he's now gone because he's been in that thing for like 14 hours. So I wonder if there's anybody else maybe we could
I mean,
chat with.
there might be
You know?
someone that tunes in, someone that's been on a couple of times, someone that's a friend of the podcast, one of the faithful in our age group, no less. I mean, maybe a little bit past our age group. This is Art the Con. He is my brother from another mother. This is Doug. Doug, how are you enjoying the con so far, brother?
Not too bad. I just been here today so far. I didn't come on Thursday or Friday, but loving it today. A lot of great cosplays here.
Speaking of great cosplays, you should know, but you may not know. Doug, what are we cosplaying today? Sorry, William, what are we cosplaying today?
I am William Wallace, the Defender of Scotland.
And what is the source for William Wallace? Historically, I understand, but how would people recognize this, what you're doing today?
This is based off the movie Braveheart.
Absolutely.
Which is a historically accurate accounting.
That is a little inside joke, kids. If you're Scottish, you know very well it's not very historically accurate. It is highly entertaining, though.
Yes.
Why? Why William Wallace here today? I know that you already cosplay a Scottish folk hero named Saltire,
Yes.
which you're finally getting some recognition and love for, which you should have been getting all the time. But why William Wallace?
It's a cosplay I've always wanted to do. I felt that my skills had got to this point now, and I go to a lot of Highland games, and I've actually met people from Clan Wallace, and I felt that it was time for this character to come out. So.
Where do we go from here? So you're already William Wallace. You've now done Saltire and William Wallace. Clearly you have an affection for Scottish heroes.
I am Scottish.
I you know what? I put that together.
Yep.
Are there any other Scottish-inspired cosplays that you think you would like to start exploring or getting into?
Well, I do. I have one that I want to make for my wife called Caledonia. That is a Marvel hero. Totally badass. She could pull it off. I just have to actually sit down and do it.
Sorry, ladies. Doug is in fact married. Yes, absolutely. And has your wife cosplayed before?
Once.
What did she do then?
She did Viking, which I made for her.
Man, that'll work out really well.
Yeah.
All right, so she's at least down for the concept of what you're talking about.
And she wants to do it with me doing Saltire, so it would be fun.
Perfect. Now, having said that, do you have anything? Do you feel like spilling some beans? In fact, I think you're here tomorrow, and I think you might be debuting a new cosplay tomorrow.
Yes.
Are you willing to share that with our viewers here right now, what you might be doing tomorrow?
No, because I want everybody to be surprised.
Damn it.
Yeah.
But you can confirm it is a Marvel cosplay.
It is a Marvel cosplay.
If you guys have any theories on what that might be, write in for us. If people want to check out your work, Brother Doug, where can they go on Instagram?
Art of the Con.
Guys, Art of the Con. Check out our boy Doug and his work. Thank you so much for joining us today, Doug. We appreciate it every single time. I'm going to get JS back in here. We're going to start to wrap this guy up.
Yeah, I think we need to wrap it up because, it's almost 1:45. Well, it is 1:45, and we have a photo op in 20 minutes, and I need to get it back into my Predator. I'm getting into a wet costume after a couple hours.
You got to get back into your Predator in 20 minutes?
Will be
good luck.
Tasty.
Yep.
So, guys, we're going to do that. I think that's going to be it for day 3. If you're here at the show, I don't know why you're watching us and you're not in this room, frankly. But if you're not at the show and you're coming tomorrow, come and check us out. Day 4 is going to be fun. Day 4 is DC Day.
DC?
Our meetup tomorrow, I'm going to blow the roof off of this friggin' place.
Hell yeah, we are.
So come and check us out. That'll be it for day 3. Stay geeky, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow.